saw my content online. I meet one virgin who went tell me, say, yo, me I want Jew, right? And I said, what? Oh, if you want Jew, oh, you know the Bible, because I said, like, the Jews study the Torah, right? So the man said, no, we are Israelite, etc. We go upon one call and he went to explain to me, say him I want Israelite, and why black people out of the West, the West Indies, right now, in the Americas, and them are the Israelites, and the people who call themselves Jews or Israeli, them are not the real Israelite, right? So this is one interesting concept. I'm thinking him was the only person where have it. But as I continue to make content, so I start to see a bunch of people who have that same mindset. I start to see more of the videos of people like this. I'm realizing this is one trend. Matter of fact, one lady coming from my page said I don't even know my identity. But she suggested I want Israelite as well. So I'm going to use the Bible to explain why me, right, and you who are watching this today in the West Indies can probably say, yeah, I don't necessarily want Israelite based on the Bible, right? It's the first concept when they use as a black people in the West Indies are them are the true Israelites and etc. Black people, etc. etc. We have to go to Acts chapter 13 and verse 1, right? And this go give one little context to realize if being black was something like the common thing, if everybody around was black, right? So Acts 13 verse 1, it says, now in Antioch there were prophets and teachers in the local congregation. Barnabas, Simeon, who was called Niger. So stick up in right here. So you see the guy with him Simeon, who was called nigger, right? That word literally means black. So that's like the first thing. A man in the Bible, him get the nickname black. So that means everybody around never was a black man. The Hebrew Israelite, I'm in the reason with, right? When we show me priest Deuteronomy, when they tell me say, yo, pray this is in a Deuteronomy, right? That's so we show you say, we are the Israelites. So you go to Deuteronomy 28 with the curses, right? Deuteronomy 28 and verse 68. Verse 68. This is what I'm going to read. It says, and Jehovah will certainly bring you back to Egypt by ship, by the way that I told you. You will never see it again, and there you will have to sell yourself to your enemies as male and female slaves, but there will be no buyer. Right? So when him read this to me, I said, yo, this show you. Remember I said black people through the transatlantic slavery, we are the Israelites, and because they sell we in our ships and they send me over here. So now at the time under the scheme, I'm never really when they process the scripture very well. But I say one day I listen to the scripture, I may realize what he's saying at the beginning. He said, bring you back to Egypt, right? So when I ask you a question, because a lot of them use Deuteronomy 28 to say black people in the West Indies are Hebrew Israelites to fulfill this curse. But here the scripture plainly said go back to Egypt. It never said go to the Caribbean or the Americas. So I want to ask any Hebrew Israelite right now, well, can tell me say them can trace their family lineage go back to Abraham. They can trace it to one of the tribes them down Israel. Anybody can do that? Right? They might call themselves Israelite, but they can't trace in genealogy. They can't trace in genealogy. So this is what the book saying is Israel chapter 2 and verse 61 and 60 to 63. To show you if God, the God of the Bible, now deal with tribes, right? If a tribe don't important. And of the sons of the priests, the sons of Habiah, the sons of Hakkoz, the sons of Barzillai, who took a wife from the daughters of Barzillai, the Gileadite, and was called by their name. These looked for their records to establish their genealogy, but they did not find them. So they were disqualified from the priesthood. The governor told them that they could not eat from the most holy things until there was a priest who could consult the Urim and the Thummim. So this scripture plainly points out how important it was to establish a genealogy. The man them couldn't even eat. The man them get disqualified from the priesthood because they must send them away in priest. Them send them as sons of Levi, them as sons of Aaron, but them couldn't establish their genealogy. They couldn't trace back anything. The concept was say God stop deal with genealogy. He stop deal with that. You go to the book of Revelation if you are one true strong believer in the Bible. When you go to the book of Revelation chapter 7, right? Revelation chapter 7, it points out some very, very specific here. So it says, and I heard the number of those who were sealed, 144,000 sealed out of every tribe of the sons of Israel. And he went on to list all the tribes. So here's the proof. If God not deal with the tribes of Israel anymore, because as an Israelite, you just need to just be an Israelite, being in the West Indies, so God don't really care about the tribe. So why would I list out all of the tribes of Israel here? So, the final part of the deal. If it was that the black people them from the West Indies were truly Jewish. They were the true Jews, right? Wouldn't it show up in our culture? For instance, if you're looking at the Jamaican culture, we have a lot of things that come from Africa. Like we have Gere, Dinky Minute, Nine Night. All of these things are things that come from the African ancestral root, and you can find them in other Caribbean countries and even in other settlements because them carry the culture. No, you don't see we have synagogues. You don't see synagogues in Jamaica. Historically speak, Hebrew. We don't historically have any scrolls. We don't have none of these things where the other lineages were connected to the Jews. Them have like we don't have none of that. We have our own African heritage. We don't have nothing we come from the Middle East. You understand me? So it clearly shows that our descendants were not from the Jews. Guess who introduced the Bible and Father Abraham? Who introduced that to it? The white man, the white missionary them from Europe. And them introduced Father Abraham to it. And them introduced the entire concept of salvation to us. You see, people get so religiously obsessed with the Bible. And when the white man destroy identity, they destroy the history, our culture. It's like you want to adapt some culture to give yourself meaning and importance. So most people then jump onto the Bible. And they must say, they must some special people, even if they don't believe them are Israelite. Like either they're in religious denomination, go tell us say, the chosen people of God. Like them have this ideology because they don't have one place to call home. They don't have no lineage. They don't have their own backstory. Understand? So they jump on the ideology of the entire you being the true Israelite, take prophecy out of context, you fulfilling this. But really and truly, if you're still in our world summits, understand, say, I want sovereign entity. Don't look in at the past and don't try to find emotional attachment and meaning in the past. Build your own future, build your own legacy. No, today. You have the power right now. Don't try to dig up the past and try to attach yourself to the past. Just build a brighter future where your children and your children can feel very proud of. Say, hey, my parents, me know them. Me don't know nobody beyond them. Me know them. I'm proud of what they did. I say you need to start live.